Cincinnati Reds baseball is presented by Spectrum. After a day off, the Reds back at it. They continue their set with the Houston Astros at GABP. And a very pleasant good evening. Welcome on back to Reds baseball alongside our captain, the Hall of Famer, Barry Larkin. I'm John Sadak. Jim Day on the way in just a bit. Last we left you, the Reds victorious over Houston in a big game for Ty France.
I feel like Ty France has really kind of solidified himself at first base. He's done a really nice job defensively, but offensively, I think we've seen him really give you some really good competitive at-bats. Monday, you see the 4-for-4 with the double but in the RBI. But what I've noticed is late in the ball game, he really gives you that quality at-bat. He really battles, fouls off pitches, keeps himself in the at-bat until he can get something that he can handle. He had a really nice game on Monday. Hopefully we can see that again today.
Continued his career success against Justin Verlander, with his time in Seattle as familiar with Houston as any Red. Now, the Reds pitching staff threw a grinder over the last week, a big day off yesterday.
Yeah, we needed the day off, but these guys deserve the credit because I feel like all of them went out there and did a fantastic job. The pitching has definitely been thin, and these guys have been relied upon, and for the most part, they have come out and done a really nice job. You can see the numbers on Monday. They were excellent.
As Houston tries to hone in on an 8th straight playoff trip and a 7th divisional title, they may have found a part of their playoff rotation in rookie Spencer Arrighetti.
There's always a situation where some young guy that don't really expect steps up, and it's been Arrighetti for these guys. You can see his numbers right there. The reigning rookie of the month. He has been fantastic, and it's all of his pitches. He pitches unpredictably. It's the four-seam fastball, as well as that ball, the sweeper, the breaking ball, the changeup. He's done a really nice job for them.
Just named rookie of the month yesterday. He will be a challenge for the Reds' 14 1/3 consecutive scoreless innings entering tonight. But it's the Reds that have had Houston's number. We'll go to break. When we're back, Jim Day on the way. Houston 24.
Cincinnati Reds baseball, Valley Sports Ohio, brought to you by Chevrolet, the #1 selling brand in Cincinnati. By Spectrum, internet, mobile, and TV. Visit spectrum.com for details. By DHL Supply Chain. Apply today at joindhl.com. And by Skyline Chili, feeling good. It's Skyline time. Last season, the trip to Houston was a good one. It was a sweep by the Redlegs. Now with today's modern schedule, the Astros repaying that visit, and a couple days ago, the series got off to a good start. The numbers against Houston have been good. If you look at our stats by lows, you'll see that the Reds have 7 straight wins versus the Astros. That's the second longest active streak versus any opponent, second only to 8 straight victories versus the Angels. So we'll see if the Reds can get at least a series victory in their back pocket. They can do that tonight. Their MO has been aggression on the base pass. Sometimes you do die by it. They were living by it on Monday. 4 stolen bases on Monday versus the Astros. Now, when the Reds have done that, they've won each of the last 5 games when stealing 2 or more bases. Can't steal first, obviously, but if they get guys on, they'll be a running again here tonight. Nick Martinez about to get the ball for the Reds. Game 2 of a 3-game set. Reds and Astros coming up. It's John Sadak and the Hall of Famer Barry Larkin standing by with all the play.
Those moments away from the rematch. Cincinnati took down Houston in the opener a couple of days ago, 5-3. Reds have won back-to-back games. They'll try to secure the series if they can triumph tonight. And hopefully the pitching has had some time to get right. Hard for even one day to do that. The Reds have been true pedal to the metal with their pitching staff. Granted, all the injuries in the last week plus. And that grind continues here tonight against a Houston club that's tops in its division by 6.5 games. Nick Martinez gets the nod, quite familiar with Houston. A lot of that coming from the start of his career. Originally came up with the Texas Rangers. He'll make his 9th start lifetime against Houston, his first since igniting the double dip on Friday against Milwaukee.
In that game against Milwaukee, he went 5 1/3. He did give up 7 hits and 7 hits and 4 runs. walked a couple, punched out a couple, walked 3, punched out a couple. But it's all about getting into a groove. I think with him, as well as any really good pitcher, any pitcher, you try to get him early in the count, because if he gets into the move and gets into his mode, and you know what that mode is, that's that rocking mode that he gets in on the mound, feeling good about himself. You try to get any really good pitcher, any veteran pitcher, you try to get him early. So look for him to establish that fastball early, go to the breaking ball. And I think what he has done nicely has been able to read the swings of the hitters, throw that changeup effectively, but that only works when he's able to spot that fastball.
Numbers from Western and Southern. That last start against Houston came in his last year with Texas. That was his last year at stateside of Major League Baseball in 2017. The lineup that he opposes, Houston has won 5 of 6, make it 18 of 26. Brought to you by Rally House. Jose Altuve does have 40 career leadoff homers. 5 have come this season. Yordan Alvarez, Yainer Diaz, Alex Bregman's first action in a few days. He's been battling elbow soreness. Victor Caratini, Jeremy Pena, Ben Gamel, Zach DeZenzo, and Chaz McCormick all get the nod for Joe Espada. Now, the Reds, 4th place in the National League Central, 15 games out. They have lost a dozen of their last 18. They're trying to make it 3 consecutive wins. Jose Altuve hitless 2 days ago. He was 0 for 4, did walk and score. He struck out a couple of times in the game. And he pokes the first pitch foul as we are underway. Quickly 0-2. Martinez in his last 4 starts 0-1. ERA is 6 3/4. Homers have been a big part of it. 6 surrendered in 18 2/3. Gave up 7 in his first 101 combined.
See what Nick Martinez tried to do right there. Went fastball away at 93 and then followed it up with that changeup. That's always the MO against hitters.
And we've seen a little more of that cutter, I feel like, from Martinez the last handful of outings. But you're right on, Lark. I mean, when he's been pitching at his best, the way he's changed speeds makes that really good changeup play up even better. And he can get some silly swings. Runs that sinker in. Gets more strikeouts on the changeup than any of his half-dozen offerings. This is a heck of an AB by Altuve.
And anytime you see a pitcher that has a really good changeup, you'll see that kind of swing on a fastball that's just 94 miles an hour. It's comfortable hitting speed, but you're trying to be very conscious of that changeup.
High fly left center, shy of the track steer. Reds defense from your local Ford dealers. Steer, Friedel, and Fraley. On the infield, Espinal getting a lot of nods at third. De La Cruz, India. Ty France has been the regular at first since Jamer Candelario's injury, and Tyler Stevenson. But you were saying about the changeup?
Yeah, anytime you see a good hitters, Tony Perez used to tell me, good hitters get jammed. Meaning you stay through it. If a guy has a devastating changeup, you just make sure that you stay on the heater at 94 miles an hour, because if you come off, then that changeup is just going to destroy you. So you expect to see a lot of guys when they're facing Nick Martinez and he throws that fastball. See a lot of guys getting jammed on foul balls just because they know that changeup is soon to follow.
Yordan Alvarez having a great year, and he's been very hot of late. Hits in 10 straight, on base in 26 straight. Only the Mets' Francisco Lindor has a longer on base run, and he's not just getting on one time a game. His on base is near 500, and he gets duped by that changeup.
What you're swinging is the arm speed of the pitcher. That looks exactly like the heater, but you can see how he turns that little changeup over. It just doesn't get there. Really effective, really good pitch.
Yainer Diaz, couple of hits 2 days ago, knocked in 3, including a sac fly, and he chases the changeup with a similar stroke.
Yep.
He's hitting 300. That's 5th best in the American League. Back-to-back changeups. And the high heater, strike 3.
Classic pitching backwards. Soft early, heater for the punch out.
Up from Rally House, Jonathan India off to a strong September start, a couple of games in. Ellie De La Cruz, Tyler Stevenson, TJ Friedl, Spencer Steer, Ty France coming off a career high tying day, Jake Fraley, Santiago Espinal, and Ahmed Rosario. They faced the man just yesterday named American League Rookie of the Month for August, Western and Southern, Spencer Arrighetti.
24-year-old, 6'2". That was the fastball that sits 93-94. Cutter curveball, sweeper, and a changeup.
India drills it to center field. McCormick watches, and that is gone. That went to the seats atop the bullpen. Another leadoff launch for Jonathan India. That's his 14th overall on the season, and it's 1-0 Reds.
Outstanding. Jonathan India getting a fastball out over the plate. And the off day did him well. Man, he crushes this ball. That is a great swing.
That's his 11th career leadoff homer. Swing and a miss. So he has snapped a tie with Cal Daniels for the second most in franchise history. Now it's Pete Rose 1, Jonathan India by himself 2. Went too far on that breaking ball. So India stays hot. That's 3 straight strong showings. Check swing, no go. I'm not sure if the numbers back this up, Lark, but it feels like the breaking ball rate against De La Cruz has spiked again in the last few weeks.
Yeah, definitely.
Sends this to center. McCormick coming on hard. He misses the ball on a dive. De La Cruz darts up to second. Alvarez gathers, standing double for Ellie De La Cruz.
Well, it's a good start. It's a second ball that's looks like that ball wasn't hit very well. It was up that barrel a little bit. McCormick can't get to it in center field. And I think Ellie had all kind of thoughts of more than just 2 bags.
Well, the height disparity between Altuve and De La Cruz gets another look. Tyler Stevenson stands in. Big lead for De La Cruz. Front door breaking ball just nips the zone for a strike. Stevenson, another multi-hit showing last time out. He had 2 hits and a walk. His last 15 games over 380. Roll to short. De La Cruz breaks. Glove, eye of third, flick to first. Jeremy Pena takes out the batter runner. De La Cruz has third base with 1 out.
Yeah, just being very aggressive, and I think there's a play at third base if Pena comes up and throws right away. You see Ellie still in the frame. Probably doesn't throw because he doesn't have quite the angle. He catches that ball somewhat close to the running lane, but very aggressive. Put himself at third base. Now the infield has to come in.
TJ Friedel takes a strike. He's been driving in more runs of late. Sac fly 2 days ago. He has 8 ribbies in his last 10 games. Well, right at the start, India spoiled a 14 1/3 scoreless inning stretch for Arrighetti, whose last 2 starts were not only scoreless, but Lark, they came on the road against premier competition at Baltimore, at Philly. To left center. That's going to drive in a run. De La Cruz can walk home. Friedel shoots to second. RBI standing double. 3 extra base hits early for the Reds.
Jonathan India's ball that he hits is to center field. Ellie De La Cruz opposite barrel to left center field. Another lefty up. TJ Friedel opposite barrel left center field. Really good approach using the big part of the field. Very effective. Really good at bats.
Spencer Steer 0 for 4 walk in the series opener. Home run short of a 2020 season. Line to left. Alvarez makes the play. Astros defense, your local Ford dealers. You've met Alvarez and McCormick. Ben Gamble works right. Alex Bregman is back at third. Pena, Altuve, DeZenzo. Victor Caratini's a guy the Reds can and should run on as they get base runners. Pop time is 52nd out of 62. His arm is 48. Below average in both categories. Ty France coming off a 4 for 4 day. And you hit on it in the open, Lark. Yes, he's hitting .393 his last 8 games. He's in the mid 280s as a Red. But even the outs have looked good. He's had good at bats.
Yes, he has.
What stands out about him?
Yeah, I think what he's done is I think he's settled in quite nicely. But what I feel like he does is just keeps his good balance. I think he has a little different approach to hitting the ball. I think the style of his hitting is a little bit different and unique to him. But what he does do is maintains his balance quite nicely, give himself a chance to foul off some pitches he doesn't like, and then square up the ones that he does.
Now, France spent many years with Seattle, and he told Jim Day after his heroics 2 days ago that opposing then Justin Verlander and the Astros team seemed to get the best out of him, playing the best, as the Astros have been in that division quite a bit the last decade. Line sharply, skipping to left. Wave is on for Friedel. Alvarez from left fires toward the plate. No shot. Head first slide. Friedel plunges in safely. France connects again. He is 5 for 5 on the series, and the Reds lead 3-0.
There it is. Ball down in the zone that he can handle. Just done a really nice job giving himself a chance. Gets those arms extended, drives that ball to left field.
Jake Fraley stands in. His third game back off the IL. Homered first AB when he stepped back in. Followed that showing you a couple of days ago with a base hit, a run scored, and a steal. Strike one. Last time out when Arrighetti faced Philadelphia, he had a no-hitter into the 8th. It was an Austin Hayes infield single that spoiled it at the start of the 8th inning. The Reds have rocked him in this first inning. And he walks Fraley.
Yeah, well, I assume the games that he pitched really well, he had better command. Today, the balls that India hit was right middle. Ellie De La Cruz, it was a little elevated and in, got jammed a little bit. But TJ Friedel hits the ball middle. Ty France hits the ball down, but middle. Just doesn't seem to quite have the command and being able to pitch to the corners of the plate. You cannot throw big league hitters pitches over the middle of the plate. Those are the balls that get crushed, and that's what we're witnessing right now.
So after a short chat in Santiago, Espinal, 2-run single among his 2 hits in the opener. Going back to the 8th of July, hitting .419 over a now nearly 2-month span. That's tops in the big leagues among men with 100 plate appearances. Runners go, double steal, and they guess right. They run on a breaking ball that handcuffed Caratini. France has third, his first steal of the year. Fraley picks up his 18th with second.
And I'm sure that was talked about. Ty France not a base stealer, but astute to the fact that Arrighetti probably at times doesn't pay attention to that runner at second base. Really nice job.
That's his second career stolen base. Two one. Well, Arrighetti was dominant in August, certainly, but his year was below pedestrian before then. 4th of July, his ERA was above 6. At the close of July, it was still over 5.5. And then his August, on the whole, was magnificent. Things have changed dramatically. The one blip, oddly enough, in the month of August, he was great against Tampa. Very good against Boston, great against Baltimore and Philly. All major teams of success in recent years. The hiccup came against the White Sox. They tagged him with 4 runs. Payoff. Fouled back. Caratini gives a gander, but that's in the seats. In the series opener, it was all about patience in the opening inning against Justin Verlander. 3 straight walks. Here today, it's been selective aggression, swinging and doing so fiercely. Up and in. That tests the flexibility of Espinal, who loads the bases.
Yeah, you can just see from this pitch right here. Just no real command of the heater.
opponents haven't had bases loaded against him a lot, but the league is hitting .500 against him bases loaded. Here's Ahmed Rosario. Well, depending upon how you define batting around, the Reds' leadoff man Jonathan India is on deck. That's its own very divisive conversation. The main writing press area, strong opinions. Is it just all 9 guys come to the plate, or all 9 guys and then the 10th guy, the first guy again?
And what is your opinion?
I don't think it really matters. I think if all 9 guys hit, you've done it. It's a short, lost off the glove of Pena. France scores. Fraley never stopped. He scores. The batter runner Rosario up to second base. It's 5-0 Reds. They have batted around, and it's still second and third.
Well, this ball right at Jeremy Pena, but you can see he catches this ball deep. You need to make contact with the ball out in front of your body. Where he makes contact with this ball, he can't see it into his glove. Ball was hit hard, but definitely a play that should have been made.
Strike one on India, who homered to get it started.
And we're waiting on the official scoring of that ball hit to shortstop. And that ball was hit hard at shortstop, but not as hard as this one. To lead off the game, Jonathan India went deep fly. Crushed that ball.
Projected 436 feet. Well, the scoreboard shows hit and the online stats show hit. We have not heard an official announcement, so pencil for now. Up and in. And now Arrighetti's getting to a pitch count, Lark. He's facing his 10th hitter. They do have action in the bullpen. Taylor Scott. You can hear Dr. Evil and Frau Farbissima now. That floats way high. I mean, Arrighetti just does not have it. That's his 3rd walk. They've come in a span of the last 4 hitters. And now the Reds have a huge chance for an enormous exclamation point. Elly De La Cruz. He did not square the ball, hit it softly, that seemed to aid him. Fell in medium left center for a double. Topped. Grazes the glove of DeZenzo. Espinal scores. Rosario scores. It's a 7 spot for the Reds in the 1st inning.
Well, this ball just topped right at the plate. Just bad luck, but this ball just going right over the glove of DeZenzo at first base. You take them as they come.
The Reds have hung as many runs on the American League Rookie of the Month in this inning as he allowed in all of August. It's the Reds' most gaudy first frame since 2021. It's a Skyline Chili call to the bullpen's most prolific first frame since August the 6th, 2021. They beat the Pirates that day 10-0. They lead 7-zip, 2 on for Tyler Stevenson. De La Cruz goes, great jump, and he easily steals second, his baseball best 62nd of the year. The new pitcher is Taylor Scott. That bullpen phone ringing incredibly early.
Yeah, I don't think you ever expect that to happen. But we've seen crazier things happen. It really strains your bullpen when your starter can't go out there and give you any kind of length. Taylor Scott, a 4-pitch pitcher, 4-seam fastball, split finger slider, and the sinker.
Swing and miss. Skipped into left center. That's a couple more runs. India scores. De La Cruz scores. 9-0 Cincinnati.
Just good hitting. Tyler Stevenson, another ball squared up.
Lark, this is the Reds' biggest first inning in 22 years. Friedel skips it to Altuve. Hit potion number 9. A robust first for the Reds. What a tone set by Jonathan India. A leadoff homer, and that was just the start. A 9-run barrage in the first inning. De La Cruz single double, drove in 2, scored a couple. TJ Friedel with a ribby double. Even the outs were largely hit hard. Ball 1 watched by Alex Bregman. His first game since Thursday. He had some elbow soreness. Same elbow soreness that sidelined him for several games in the middle of August. Twisting pop. Stevenson gives a look, but makes the dugout roof and skips in the stands. Despite the elbow issues that sidelined him for chunks of August, Bregman did hit over 300 on the month. Drives this down the right field line. That falls fair, base hit. Fraley's got it. Bregman up to second. A double.
Well, Alex Bregman has always been very compact and a very good short, crisp swing. 2 strikes. Saw him foul off a couple pitches. 2 strikes. Breaking ball away. Nice flat swing right to the baseball. Good hitter.
Victor Caratini pinch hit single in Monday's opener. Curveball spiked by Martinez.
It was a long half inning for Martinez. Legs should be fine. He was pacing away in the dugout per usual, but had to interrupt his pacing and went underneath through the heavy ball to try to stay as loose as possible.
Yeah, there was a long span, 26 minutes between pitches. And he's been among the many that's had to work on short rest in recent time as well. Appeal no go. We also seem to see that Martinez might have changed a pitch in the middle of his back and forth on the mound in advance of the strikeout that put a bow on the first inning.
Well, you can see where he holds his glove. When he grabs the ball, it looks like he grabs the ball with a changeup grip. You can see the changeup grip. And then what you look for, you look to see if there's any kind of wrist movement or anything underneath his glove to see if he's changing. If he doesn't change, if there isn't that kind of movement like he's changing his grip, then you're going to look changeup. So you're always looking to see where he comes to a set, depending on how he grabs that ball. And you can see right now he's got that changeup grip, right? And so when he puts his hand in the glove, the ball in the glove, you're looking to see if there's any like tweak of the forearm, or if there's anything, because you're trying to pick up what pitch he's going to throw. And if he does move it, you figure it's not going to be that changeup.
Gets Caratini looking. 3 strikeouts for Martinez.
Just frozen on that front door. Good movement. See how he turns that ball over. That ball starts on the inside part of the plate, maybe off a little bit, just floats on.
Well located sinker to Jeremy Pena. He was 0 for 4, 2 strikeouts, bounced into a double play Monday. Big swing, and man, that changeup is filthy tonight.
See that swing of the changeup, he was far out in front, and then that 93-mile-an-hour fastball, he gets jammed.
It doubles up on the elevated heat, so he's changed the eye level a bit. He comes back with either that change or that curveball down.
Yep.
Change up lifted to routine center.
You called it, John.
Yeah, when Martinez is really on, Lark, he does such an excellent job of in, out, up, down. He has that wide array of pitches, and he uses each of them just enough to make the hitters not only stay honest, but I think sometimes probably guess a bit, right?
For sure. And I think that there's a game plan there, but I think that what he has done and why he has been so much more effective now as a starter, and I credit Tyler Stevenson with this as well, is I feel like he really reacts well to how the hitter reacts to the pitches that he throws. You very seldom now he calls his own pitches. He's got PitchCom on his hip out there, and he's calling the pitches. So he knows what he wants to do. You see him touch it right here. A little black box on his right hip. But those guys are synced up. You can see that change-up grip. It's been effective.
To right field, wave on at third. Fraley gathers in right. Bregman comes around. Base hit Ben Gamel. 9-1.
Another changeup down and away. Give Ben Gamel all kind of credit. Almost hit this ball with one hand. Just extending the swing. Staying on it.
Sacked his end zone. Center field, Friedel coming on hard and makes the play. That's right, 9-1. We shift to the home second, or Honda game summary. That's what happened in the first inning.
Damage.
One of the few Reds to not reach was Spencer Steer, and he lined out to left field. Now the Reds chase the starter, Spencer Arrighetti. 2 outs, 9 runs, 6 hits. He walked 3, gave up a homer. The last time the Reds had a first inning that gaudy, 2002 against the Padres. It was a 9 spot of the first. Reds trailed 1-0 when they put up those 9 runs, held on to win 12-10. Brett Tomko was the starter for the Padres that day. He surrendered all 9 and continued to pitch into the 4th inning. He eventually gave up a 10th run, but he went 3 1/3. Steer launches left center. Out of the track. A quarter century ago today, the Reds made National League history, the first team ever in the senior circuit to homer 9 times in one game. What do you remember about that day?
I'm looking at the video. I remember I wasn't one of those guys, I believe.
22-3 the final.
I just remember guys coming up to me telling me, like, when we would win games like that and I have an 0 for 6 or 0 for 7, Lark, somebody has to make the outs or the game would go forever. Okay, I'll take it on the chin today.
You were 0 for 2, a couple of walks in that game. You also held a players only meeting before the game that day.
Did I?
It was called by you, Greg Vaughn, and Danny Nagel.
So we must have been going through something before that outburst.
Jeffrey Hammond shared with reporting legend Hal McCoy that, quote, they more or less said to play the game and have fun with it, whatever happens, happens. And then the team went off for the best power show that the National League had ever seen. In fact, according to Mr. McCoy, Rick Stowe went up to first base coach Dave Collins after the team meeting and said that the team would hit 5 home runs that night.
Oh, wow.
And then you hit 9. Fouled back by France, who has a ribby single, his 2nd career steal, and a run scored. And what led to that meeting seemingly was a 3-8 record in the prior 11 games.
That could do it. That definitely could do it.
To short, great backhand jump throw against the grain, but the scoop is off. That's a heck of a play by Jeremy Pena. DeZenzo could not bring it in, and France able to reach.
Another ball well struck in the hole. This time Jeremy Pena gets to it, goes airborne.
Base hit, so France is 6 for 6 on the series. First pitch strike to Fraley, who has walked, stolen a bag, and scored. Now, two of the more productive additions to the Reds this year. Ty France right around the deadline after he had been DFA'd by Seattle, and on deck Santiago Espinal late in spring training as the year was about to get underway, or closer to the season more accurately. Once Matt McLain was hurt, you knew about Noel V. Marte with the suspension. There was the thought maybe you need somebody else to be on that infield. They have both been incredibly productive during a rough stretch for the team, and both could be looking elsewhere next season. And Fraley limps visibly after that foul. Right off the front of the foot. Fraley sends it to center. McCormick two down. Brief word now from First Financial Bank.
Earn it, save it, grow it with First Financial Bank. Boost your savings with a high money market rate or CD rate. Visit bankatfirst.com or stop by today. First.
Espinal walked on a pitch very much up and in. Later scored. Watches ball one. Very often Colin Cowgill is in the year of his runners at first base. Incredibly active and successful coaching the Reds run game. France has taken a slightly more exaggerated secondary lead since this at bat got underway. It's not always about a steal. In fact, it rarely is. It's way more about the kind of advantage you can get, how you can distract that pitcher, how you can try to grab a bag on a base hit, go to third on a single, maybe score on the right play, and the read and the jump are critical to that. When the Reds have played their best, that's what they've excelled at. And the man at the plate, Santiago Espinal, is a great example. By pure speed, he's not fast, but he's having the best stolen base year of his career, and he's having the best 2-month stretch he's had at the plate ever. And this man has been an all-star. Full count. France goes. Espinal, another outstanding plate appearance, works the second walk. Ahmed Rosario doubled. Ball that skipped on Jeremy Pena. Couldn't quite corral it cleanly. Drove in a couple of runs. Fouls this one away. A tradition unlike any other. Jam job pop. One of those same traditions was had yesterday. The 20th annual Marty Brenneman Golf Classic, raising money for the Reds Community Fund. Lark, I believe you were part of the championship team in the day portion of the activities.
Well, I don't know how much I contributed to the win, but we'll take it. Played with a bunch of really good guys. Really enjoyed my time.
Broadcasters did well. Tommy Thrall's group, I think, came in second. And apparently he missed the ball out of the tee box when they got started. Championship pedigree. (9-1) Reds the lead, and the baby-faced assassin in the house. Danny Graves just popped in to say hey.
Yes, yes. I bet you can still go out there and compete.
I have no doubt.
Did you check out his boots?
Oh, those are legit. Oh, and they have like stitching.
Yeah, Danny
like
Graves,
baseball stitching.
Yes.
Those are tight. Bounce to third. Great backhand. Espinal. Bounce arrives a little late. Heck of an effort at third base. McCormick reaches on a base hit.
You know, John, you talk about how steady Santiago Espinal is. What's great about this play right here is he doesn't try to throw the ball all the way in the air.
He might have got him. I think
sure
the Reds are going to
have.
challenge here.
Oh.
Cincinnati's challenging the safe call at first base.
Anyway, what he does, he just throws the ball to the first baseman and says, hey, you make the play.
The reaction shots of Nick Martinez are fantastic.
Outstanding. Oh, that's a great play
He
right
got
there.
him. I think we can put this in ink even before word from New York. That should be a 5 exclamation point 3.
After review, the call in the field is overturned. Runner is out.
That's
Cincinnati
right.
retains its challenge.
What a play from both Santiago Espinal and Ty France, a couple of 2022 All-Stars shining for the Reds.
Pure reaction at first base. That ball takes a high hop. And he held on. Great play on both ends.
Jose Altuve worked along at bat, but fly to left his first time. Nice overhand breaking ball. That guy can hit. Just goes out and gets it and finds a way to pull it over the left side.
He's been doing it for a lot of years. Just extends that arm, and that's a really good pitch from Nick Martinez. And there's nothing you can do. You just got to tip your cap. Roll a double play ball right here.
Yordan Alvarez struck out his first time. He chased the changeup. That one in the dirt bounces on Stevenson. Wild pitch is Altuve up to second.
Trying to get the swing on the ball down. Alvarez hits this ball. It's going to go on the ground. That's a double play, trying to induce that ground ball double play.
Bounces again. Altuve takes off. He's got third. Couple of wild pitches here.
Tough to keep that ball in front. So much spin on it that another breaking ball. Figure that ball from a right-hander is going to take a right turn when it hits the dirt.
But check out the combination of their commitment to what they think will work best and their faith in one another. Right back to it. Yeah, it's a miss in the dirt. Probably doesn't want it there, but he has faith that Stevenson will keep it there.
I think Stevenson kept that ball in front of him with his bare hand, his right hand.
Shallow right center. India going out makes the call and catch. Bluff from third. 2 down. Well, Diaz digs in. He struck out swinging first time. Great looking curveball. Ball 1.
Last time up against Diaz, it was the classic pitching backwards. 2 breaking balls early and then the heater for the punch out. He goes right back to the off speed early.
Diaz first signed with Cleveland. He was a teenager back in December of 16. Got to A-ball in 21. He was dealt near that deadline in a package for Miles Strong. Three and 1. And a walk. Brief word now from AAA.
Welcome to the plus side. Roadside mishaps don't have to ruin your day. With AAA Plus, you get expert roadside assistance when and where you need it.
Now remember, the Reds had the odd off day yesterday in the middle of the series. With tonight's affair, it's the first of 12 straight days with a game. They won't have another day off until Monday, September the 16th. And I cannot imagine that they are truly whole pitching-wise after one day off. They have a gaudy 9-1 lead. First pitch to Alex Bregman. Fouled away. Martinez to this point has surrendered 3 hits. Bregman's double, the only one to go for extra bases. That led off the second inning. Popped up. De La Cruz, foul side. Take a look at the FanDuel same game parlay discussed on Reds Live. It's already won. So if you had placed a $5 bet, already $52.60. Your turn. Head to the FanDuel app, check out the odds, create your own live same game parlay. Jonathan India has been aboard twice, a homer and a walk. He has scored twice. And he watches strike one from Scott. Home run that set the tone. StatCast 3D powered by Google Cloud.
Heater out over the plate. Fully extended on it. Drives this ball right through the big part of the field. And he's been swinging the bat well lately.
Three and one. And Taylor Scott, the second player, the first pitcher born on the African continent to reach the major leagues. Gifted Golpe, an infielder, had made the bigs. Now, while Scott was born in South Africa, and he is a South African citizen, his high school days came stateside in Scottsdale, Arizona. Swing and a miss. Nice splitter. Extra base hit and a swipe for Ellie De La Cruz already. So he's done that 20 times on the year, and he tops Joe Morgan in the process. The legendary Red did it 19 times in 1975.
It was one of his MVP years, wasn't it?
Ticked foul, 75 and 76. Also a critical role knocking in Ken Griffey for the winner in Game 7 of that 75 World Series. De La Cruz tonight followed the double with a single. The latter drove in two. He has scored twice. Cranks that to right field. Base hit. To the wall. Extra bases gathered by Gamble. It's another standing double for De La Cruz. He is 3 for 3.
Such a smooth swing. Great balance. Stays through the baseball. Man, he hits the ball hard. And I just love to see him wide open when he's running. It is a thing of beauty.
That was the hardest hit ball of the game by a lot. That was 110. Big rip by Stevenson. 2-run single his last time as the first batter that Scott opposed. Oh, and 2. Forrest Whitley now warms in the Houston pen. De La Cruz takes off. Good jump. Stevenson fouls it off. Lost by the catcher, Caratini. Crank to right center. Down, base hit. Wave is on De La Cruz. McCormick from center. Cut. De La Cruz scores. Double-digit runs for the Reds. And Stevenson stays hot.
Yeah, we're getting somewhat redundant when we're talking about Tyler Stevenson. Another great swing. Look how he stays through this baseball. That is what he does when he is on fire, and he has been swinging the bat exceptionally well. Nelly didn't get a great read because that ball is up in the air for a while, but scores easily from second base.
T.J. Friedl, ribby double, run scored. There's a little less than a month to go in the season. Ellie De La Cruz with his 2 doubles tonight now is 33 on the year. Spencer Steer led the team with 37 last year. Nick Castellanos in 38 and 21. No Red has had 40 since Todd Frazier at 43 almost a decade ago, 2015. And with his combination of power and speed, that is, I think, very much in reach. Friedl line to first, double play. Our storylines presented by Elk and Elk. And Tyler they trust. When Tyler Stevenson starts as the catcher, comparison the last couple of years, the record a big difference.
Yeah, I feel like he has just done an exceptional job as far as leading the pitching staff, his defensive prowess, and swinging the bats. He's just been really, really good. Continuing to get better every single year.
When he has been the catcher this year, hitting over 270, 16 of his 18 homers. And if you haven't yet, please take a listen to his latest stop on the Jim Day podcast. It is a great talk. I think, Jim, you do an awesome job on that pod of humanizing these players, going into the depths of them as people. But this is one edition that dove a lot deeper into baseball and what this offseason meant for Tyler Stevenson and his standing with the Reds organization.
It was a game changer type of offseason for Tyler. I mean, at some point when things aren't going your way, either the organization or you have to come together with some type of meeting like, all right, it's go time. And he had that type of experience in the offseason and didn't need to be told necessarily. He's very self-aware, but him showing up in Arizona at the beginning of the year in January was by no accident.
So the changes that have come about with how he's framed, the relationships he's had with pitchers, the hitting that seemingly has taken another stride with regular line drive contact, all of that a product of work, of purpose. Caratini to the opposite gap. He's got a standing double. have been lucky and blessed of late. More fall-like feel most days. Lucky has loved the walks lately, Lark. Jeremy Pena has flied to center. Big lead off second for Caratini. Strike one.
Yeah, this is a great time of the year. That heat starting to go away and feels like fall, and beautiful time of year here in Cincinnati.
In Miami, Nationals and Marlins are scoreless, and Mackenzie Gore has a perfect game through 5. They're now in the 6th.
I thought you were going to talk about the weather in Miami. In Miami, not so much.
Yeah, that's where they have a dome though, so it's 72 at game time almost every day.
Yeah.
That's where Nick Martinez, originally from South Florida. Only college chance came at Fordham, where he was primarily an infielder, found pitching late. Also may have a future in broadcasting. He joined the national show on Fox as well. Fouled back. Jim Strickler, our high home man, was ready. He was prepared. Thin sliver of space between his camera and the glass. He was shaped up. Joe Luckup was pointing at others to do it, including certain Hall of Famers.
He was telling me to reach out the window and catch that ball.
High expectation, Joel. Strick, there's Strick.
Gold Glove question mark, Joel asks you.
Now you're getting personal.
Sent to center. Friedel on the run, extends and makes the play. One away.
It wasn't just what he wrote down, it was the face he gave me.
It's been pretty cool during this series. You've had a chance to catch up with your counterpart on the Houston telecast, Jeff Bagwell.
Yep, got a chance to spend some time with Baggy, the Hall of Famer.
You can say it, a fellow Hall of Famer. It's okay.
Well, that he is. Always great to run into him. There he is right there.
So you often, in half jest, but somewhat seriously, talk about how there are those fiefdoms within the Hall of Fame, right? There's different pockets of Hall of Famers. The Hall of Fame itself is not universal, and that you are essentially shoehorned into the Punching Judy table.
Yes, I cannot sit at the table with Jeff Bagwell. I can sit at the table with Biggio, but not Bagwell. Got to have 400 home runs, career home runs, to sit at their table.
What do you remember about that man as a player?
The thing I remember was, the damage that he does. He had a very different way about hitting. It was very different. But the fact that he would steal bases against us all the time. It would be he'd play in Houston, and they'd be kind of back and forth ball games, and he'd get on base, and all of a sudden he's in scoring position. Like, wait a minute, you're a first baseman. You're not supposed to be stealing bases. But that's what I really remember about Baggy. Of course, hitting the home runs and just being ultra competitive. But I love the fact that he would get on base, being a power hitter, and he would steal bases as well. Don't sleep on him. That's what he used to tell me. Don't sleep on the bag. Nope.
Martinez gets Gamble looking.
A good heater right there on the inside part of the plate.
Bagwell, lifetime 26 steals at the Reds' expense, his highest total against any one opponent.
That's what I remember.
Strike one on DeZenzo, who has flied to center.
His batting stance with his legs so far apart was unbelievable. I don't know how he hit like that.
I don't either. I don't think you would teach a kid to hit like that. I think that's just natural. I was talking to him about his golf game. I wonder if he gets that wide in this golf game. He was telling me he's got a bad wing, so he can't take it all the way back. Said he used to be able to, but now it's like me. I don't know if he plays the senior tees, but
And somewhere with all of this, our friend George Grant is smiling.
there he is, Baggy. Yep.
He
Hey,
knew
pay
and
attention.
appreciated that. That's a big dude.
And Willie Green at third base. The bad man, that guy right there, Jeff Bagwell.
The Reds would see the Astros way more back when. And there were several of those Astros that seemingly had the number of many of the Reds' better late game options, including, and he'll talk to you about it right away, the man who celebrates his birthday tomorrow, Cowboy Jeff Brantley. Great changeup by Martinez. He strikes out a couple of Astros. Reds by 9. If a Reds homer hits the Toyota hit and win sign in tonight's game, Thomas Tuffle from Hamilton, Ohio, wins this brand new built in the USA 2024 Tundra. Register for your chance at your Cincinnati, Northern Kentucky Toyota dealers. A baseball sky. 10-1 Reds deeper into the Houston pen. The man that closed things out in the opener, Forrest Whitley. Spencer Steer is line to left. He is flying to left. Hard ground ball to third. Good pick by Bregman. Ty France in the driver's seat, driven by Hyundai. 2 more hits today, so lifetime against the Astros in 67 games, 336, 8 bombs, both his second best numbers against any one team. He is 6 for 6 on the series. Hold on to the ball. Hard ground ball under the glove of Bregman. I think it made some contact with the leather, but he never quite got low enough.
Didn't have time. Another ball well struck. No, it looked like he got to it, just didn't get down on it.
That'll be in E5 and snap the stretch of consecutive ABs with a hit for France. Breaking ball up to Fraley, who has walked, stolen a bag, and scored. Fraley was the last man to face Whitley in Monday's opener, struck out against him. He tossed a scoreless 8th inning in that series opener, surrendered a single to Friedel, walked Steer, struck out the other 3 that he faced. in the dirt. Perfect game over for Gore, by the way. A Griffin Conine walk in the 6th, followed by a Nick Fortes double. Not only is the perfecto lost, but the lead now posted by Miami 1-0. Full count. That's a good take. Driven to right center. McCormick headlong dive makes the catch. He had little margin for error, and he takes one away from Fraley.
Yeah, that ball stayed up in the air for a long time. I thought off the bat this was definitely a base hit. But as I said, the ball stayed up in the air, and McCormick covered some ground. Nice play.
Santiago Espinal has walked twice, scored once.
You know, John, we've had a chance to watch Santiago Espinal play. There's certain type of players that I personally watch and how they do things. He seems like he is never in a hurry on the field to do anything. So that I know he's talked about his preparation and, you know, being ready, not knowing if he's going to get a chance to play every day, coming to the ballpark ready, but it's all in his preparation. I truly believe that. I believe that, and I can see that in him. You know, you talked about the 2 walks and the run scored today, the base hit for the game winner the other day when he pinch hit the ball off the pitcher's rear end. And, you know, it just seems like every situation, there's no rush. Guy throwing 98 miles an hour or 88 miles an hour, it's just the same. That's predictable. That's the type of player that you want to be in the lineup, because you can say, okay, I know what I'm getting from this young man right here. I know he's going to be prepared. I know nothing's going to surprise him. He's going to be ready to go. He gives you great at-bats once again. That's a 99-mile-an-hour sinker, and he fouled it off. Okay, you know, next pitch. He's the type of player that is, we say La Paz for the manager. He's the peace. He's the calm guy. He's the guy you don't have to worry about. You feel good about putting him in the lineup.
Siempre está listo.
Siempre. For all you non-Spanish speaking folks, he's always ready.
France goes. Fouled off. Pick off to nobody. France has second. Hey, how does Whitley not know that? Full count, 2 outs. DeZenzo's not been on the bag for several pitches. E1.
Well, we talk about mistakes that are made. This is a physical mistake, but it's a mental mistake. Lack of communication, concentration, understanding the first baseman's not going to be holding him on. But was that communicated from the first baseman before the pitch?
Payoff popped up. Reds strand a man. Cincinnati Reds baseball on Bally Sports Ohio is brought to you by your Cincinnati, Northern Kentucky Toyota dealers. Toyota, let's go places. And by AAA, always move on the plus side. Beautiful evening. And a first pitch miss from Nick Martinez. Chas McCormick robbed by Santiago Espinal with the aid of video replay. He was originally called safe on a pretty bang-bang play. A good call by Sam Nolly in the replay room. Reds challenged and won because Espinal made a really nice play.
As did Ty France.
Our T-Mobile coverage cam revisits it.
Nice and easy at third base. This ball right down the line. And a good play to corral the ball. Throws the ball to first base, says Ty France, your turn, you make a play. And he does just that.
I mean, that's team, right?
Yes. That is no one person trying to do it by themselves. And if that is indeed team, absolutely. But that's what I love about, specifically about Santiago Espinal. It just seems to be his aura about himself.
That bounces on to Martinez. So he has struck out 5. He has now walked 2. This is the 3rd time the Astros have put their leadoff man on the base. That's the leadoff man on the inning. Their leadoff man of the lineup now stands in, Jose Altuve. He has flied to left and singled. The single, if you recall, was a pretty good pitch away, and Altuve just went out and got it and was able to pull it to left field. And Martinez starts by living away, soft then hard. Broke his bat. De La Cruz to the bag. They get the force. Just beats McCormick to the bag. Fielder's choice.
See, this ball checks up. Ellie does a nice job of not trying to be too fast with it and trying to turn double play. Ball checks up. He understands there's no chance to turn 2. A lot of times it's not the sensational play. It's the play that you don't make. It's the throw you don't make. Nice job right there, Ellie.
Yordan Alvarez 0 for 2. Bouncer up the middle. De La Cruz positioned perfectly. Double play.
I feel like I'm more in the present when I'm walking around. I'm more into the game. I don't like to sit down and just be alone with my thoughts. Right? We got some demons and some negative thoughts that are going to try to creep in there if I'm just sitting there, and some anxiety will build up.
It is a constant between innings. That's what you see. You see him much like a prize fighter getting ready for a boxing match that he paces up and down. I wish we had a device to count the amount of steps he gets in, particularly when he starts and logs some innings like he is tonight.
I kind of like watching it. Just shows me how focused he is, how locked in he is.
Yep.
And it doesn't matter the score. I mean, the Reds are up more than a touchdown, and he is just in stride. Doesn't even want the conversation seemingly there with his pitching coach. He's processing, staying ready. We got a ton of changes for Houston. Ahmed Rosario stands in. 2-run double. He is lined to right and scored. Takes a strike. Jason Hayward is into the game at right. They've moved Ben Gamble to left. It looks like Yordan Alvarez is out of the game. Zach DeZenzo has moved to third. It looks like Alex Bregman is out of the game. Jeremy Pena appears to be out of the game. Mauricio Dubon is in at short. Jose Altuve appears to be out of the game. Shea Whitcomb at second, and John Singleton is into the game at first base. So they have just inserted their entire bench, save for catcher Cesar Salazar. Every other bench position player is now in. Chopped up the middle and whiffed by Dubon. And the Astros have also not had a good night with their gloves. That's another error. Not all have been errors, but there have been many batted balls near the leather not caught.
Yeah, there's been some misplays right here, and you can see Dubon. Look where his eyes are. He's looking at first base. He's still looking at first base. You saw Jeremy Pena. He wasn't credited with an error. It was a two-base double, I guess it was scored. But a ball that was definitely playable and should have made the play. He also took his eyes off the ball. It has not been pretty defensively for this Astro club.
Yeah, some of that came during the avalanche of 9 runs in the first inning, and some have come since that haymaker delivered in the opening frame. And it was India who ignited things with a homer that he crushed beyond the Reds bullpen. He has since walked and struck out. Called strike. Rosario held on. Payoff. Borderline down. Our Kia player profile. It's another game for Elly De La Cruz with a couple of extra base hits and a steal, making 5 on the year. It's the second most by a Red in a single season, trailing your 7 in 1995. Power and speed. Takes a strike. He is 3 for 3. The single drove in 2. Earlier tonight, De La Cruz became the first Red to have 3 hits and 3 runs scored in the first 3 innings since September of '91. Mariano Duncan, Bill Duran both did it that day, oddly enough, against the Astros. Swing and a miss. I think Anchorman is going to have to live on loop for Tyler Stevenson for a bit.
Definitely.
Top just foul. Hits in each of his last 2 at-bats. Each time drove in a run. He's got 3 ribbies tonight. 4th time this year that he's had 3 or more ribbies in a game. That's another area where he's taken a big step. I mean, he's been in that 3rd position a lot. Going on probably almost a month now. And he's been swinging like it. I mean, sometimes guys can hit in certain spots out of necessity. As many coaches will famously tell you in sports like basketball, someone's got to score for the opponent. Somebody will probably drop 20. Doesn't mean they would for a different team. But he is fit. He is a fairly patient at bat. He can spray to all fields. He hits for power to all fields. But he will shorten up and just take his chip shot in the right situation too. He'll take his walk. He's a very complete player. Tried to check, no appeal needed. TJ Friedel, ribby double. He's 1 for 3, ground out, and he's lined into a double play. Caleb Ort is up. Right through, base hit. Greenlight Rosario He scores. T.J. Friedel's second RBI of the night. 11 runs on 11 hits for the Reds. They lead by 10.
Sinker running down and away from T.J. Friedel. Try to pull this ball. It's a ground ball to the second baseman all day. But he, much like all the Reds hitters today, staying through the middle, having a lot of success. Excellent.
Downstairs to Steer, who's 0 for 3. He's hit the ball pretty hard multiple times. That ground out last time was well struck to third. Change the Ty France reach in the 4th inning from E5 to a base hit. So he's now 7 for 7 on the series. So there was the 1 error that inning, 1 more here. So now 2 on the game for Houston. By the way, it means the run unearned. Inning in theory should have ended on Stevenson's strikeout if Dubon made the play at Rosario's ground ball. There have been a few up and in misses from Whitley. Called strike. Runners go, and that is line to third, caught. But on a skip, not on the fly. Throw to first is late. India never broke stride, and he scores. Base hit Spencer Steer. DeZenzo brought it into the glove, but after it kissed the ground, and the Reds lead 12-1.
Yeah, well, let's just credit Spencer Steer, number 1, for not assuming or not being frustrated. You can see that ball almost caught in the air. Very easily could have shut it down thinking that ball's going to get caught. He didn't. He hustled. And credit to Jonathan India as well. Understanding that throw to first base. If he's safe, I'm a score, and he does just that.
So Whitley is done. Martinez continues to pace, given more offensive aid. Ort the call. Reds by 11. Blake came up a winner very early tonight. France, De La Cruz, and India all part of a massive offensive. Astros are on to their 4th pitcher of the night, Caleb Ort.
He's a 4-pitch pitcher. That 4-seam fastball at 98 miles an hour. There it is. The cutter, sweeper, and the changeup. 17 walks and 17 strikeouts and 2 walks. Impressive.
Big swing from France. Ort was the first out of the pen 2 days ago. Was welcomed by a run-scoring single from Ahmed Rosario and got Jonathan India to ground out. France is now 3 for 3. His contact last time up was originally ruled an error at third. That has since been changed to a base hit, so he is now 7 for 7 on the series. So France in 30 games as a Red is now hitting .306. That bounces. Both men move up. It went all the way back to Ort. Wild pitch. Friedel and Steer have third and second.
Really peculiar things are happening in this game today.
Yes.
Don't see that very often.
The near misses of gloves, that 9-run opening inning. There have been a handful of wild pitches in the game. Had a pick off of first base with nobody there, top to short. Throw to first. On line on time, end of inning.
Save on Reds baseball with Senior Days, thanks to the Inquirer. Fans 50 and older may purchase select tickets at half price in advance of game days. For details, visit reds.com/senior.
Oh, thank you, Jim. First pitch, bounce to third. Espinal. This time, France couldn't bring it in on a skip. Nearly another nifty team up between the men at the corners.
Yeah, this time you can see this one was thrown all the way in the air, just a little short, as opposed to specifically throwing the ball in the dirt and allowing Ty France to make the play, and it leads to an error.
"21 minutes between pitches for Martinez." Remember, he had a 26-minute layoff during that gargantuan 9-run first inning. John Singleton's first plate appearance. We're about to see a run of those. On the edge, strike three.
Good pitch on the inside part of the plate. We've seen Nick Martinez throw this two-seamer, have that run. Coming right over the inside part. Good pitch.
Appeal, strike one on Caratini. Doubled his last time. He is struck out looking. Dubon is on deck. Looks like he is batting in that 6th position. Lark, his changeup has such depth that at that speed, it almost looks like a curveball. I mean, it has that real break to it almost.
Actually, it's like a screwball. Back in the day, it used to pronate.
Yeah.
It does definitely have that effect. Whatever it is, it's good.
I mean, it's such a good pitch. It doesn't really have to be set up. He can get bad swings to begin a count, but it's such a good pitch. You really want to use it with 2 strikes to finish the hitter.
That is true. However, we have seen him use it early in the count to get the swing and the miss. So you're right. I think it's just the deception. It's the arm speed, the grip. and the arm speed, which makes it an effective pitch when he is throwing his heater at 94. And then he has the deception as well as the depth on that changeup. Makes it a difficult assignment.
On the inside edge, strike 3.
There it is again. Same way against John Singleton. Starts that two-seamer on the inside part of the plate to freeze that left-handed hitter. Ball just continues to run.
He is tied a season high with 7 strikeouts. Now he's trying to give the Reds 6 innings for the first time since the 16th of August. That was his quality start, but loss against Kansas City. Dubon's first plate appearance. He started the opener, was 0 for 2, a bunt, ground out, and a strikeout looking. Grounded sharply through the right side. Diaz up to second. Brief word now from Miami Valley Gaming.
Shimmy on down and get ready to get lucky at Miami Valley Gaming.
Awesome.
Joe, you do know the camera follows you, Joe. You know that. You know that's going to happen, right, Joel?
He's in on the fun.
Yes, he is.
I mean, there haven't been a lot of dancing games lately, Lark, and it's nice to see the Reds with a 12-1 lead.
It is nice.
Brent Suter now warms with Martinez at 100 pitches. This is the first time that Martinez has reached the century mark this year. Previous high was 94 pitches in an outing. Ben Gamel, RBI single, has struck out looking. For Martinez, of his 7 strikeouts tonight, 4 have been backward. Three and 0. He hasn't had very many 3-ball counts. I mean, he started the game that way. Altuve rallied from 0-2 to full. He has only walked a couple of men. Just missed, bases loaded. Let's take a look at the strikeouts for Martinez this evening.
Yeah, I think Nick Martinez has done a nice job of throwing all of his pitches. Seen a lot of those two-seam front door fastballs that run back in on those left-handed hitters. There it is right there. And then always he's got that nice changeup breaking down and away. He's pitched well so far. He's got a bit of a pickle right now.
Loaded for DeZenzo, who is fly to center, struck out swinging. Grounded into center. That's a couple of runs. Diaz scores. Dubon comes home. Gamble goes first to third. Houston gets 2 back. It's 12-3. And remember, the inning began with what was ruled breach on error. So in theory, should have been over with the strikeout of Caratini. Martinez throws 109. That's all for his evening. Strong effort for the Reds. They go to their pen. .6, tied to season high with 7 strikeouts. He leaves with a couple of runs in, first and third. Chas McCormick digging in. Brent Suter prepares on the mound.
His numbers on the season. His first time out, coming off the IL. Went out and pitched 3 perfect innings. 27 pitches.
Good pickoff move to Zenzo, just back in.
That's a good move right there.
McCormick is walked. He is grounded out to third.
I said perfect innings, 3 scoreless innings.
Bounce left side, that just leaks through, base hit. Well placed contact. Gamble scores 12-4.
Yeah, not well struck, but well placed. That 5-6 hole.
Big swing from Shea Whitcomb, his first plate appearance. Among the many that came on defensively. What a spear by Stevenson. Center field, Friedel. Astros get 3. Reds still up 8.
Copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Cincinnati Reds and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Reds.
9 spot in the first, cruising ever since. Bottom 6, up 12-4. Jake Fraley. First pitch pop, foul out of play. Fraley has walked, stole the bag, and scored. He has since flied to center, lined to center. Whistled, foul.
John, I don't know if, can't really see. I don't know if a fan got hit with that line drive.
There's now applause in the section. That's a good sign. Some ushers are making a path down there. That's beyond the netting that thankfully has been extended throughout baseball, but you always have to be alert. Even behind the netting, ball can come down in a hurry. Still over top. Fraley drills this to right center. That's to the wall. Standing double for Fraley.
Jake Fraley does a really nice job of extending his arms. This ball is out over the plate, but that does not necessarily mean you have to hit the ball the other way. What you have to do is stay through it, and he does just that. Splits that right center gap.
Santiago Espinal. But with the double by Fraley, that means every Red in the lineup tonight has a hit, with the exception of Espinal, who has been on twice. He's walked twice, scored once, and foul popped to first his last time. The other 8 men have combined for 14 hits. Cubs are home to the Pirates tonight. Cubs have been clobbering the baseball. They've got 9 on the board again tonight, crushing the Pirates 9-0. And Shota Imanaga has a no-hitter going in the 6th. Two and two. McCormick. Brief word now from Rally House.
Play ball, Cincy. Shop the latest in red style with your favorite brands and throwback designs. Rally House has gear for every fan.
Ahmed Rosario aboard twice, 2-run doubled. He's reached on error, line to right. He has scored twice. Chopped to short. Fraley breaks. Flick goes to third. He's easily tagged out. Ground ball in front of him. Rosario reaches on a bizarre fielder's choice. Jonathan India aboard 3 times. Homer, 2 walks. It has not been a pretty game. That said, the Reds are on the right side of this lopsided score. And it looks like Ellie De La Cruz is out of the game. Noel V. Marte is on deck to hit for him. De La Cruz a 3-hit night. The Reds with a win tonight. They're looking to secure their first series victory since taking 2 of 3 in Toronto. That was August the 19th to the 21st. Also looking for their first 3-game win streak since earlier August. Capped off when they swept St. Louis. That was part of a 4-game win streak, a 3-game sweep. And St. Louis will be part of the long odyssey of a road trip on the horizon. After tomorrow's finale with Houston, the Reds will have 10 games in as many days. 3 in New York against the Mets, a one-off with Atlanta to make up a rainout, 3 in St. Louis, 3 in Minnesota. Foul tip, strike 3. After the Reds take on the Pirates Friday, September 20th, rap and hip-hop icon Nelly will play live on the field, part of the Ohio Lottery post-game concert series. Get your tickets now, reds.com/concerts. Many changes for the Reds. Reese Hines is now in center. Will Benson now plays left. Noel V. Marte takes over at third. Espinal bumped to short. Spencer Steer is shifted over to first base. And Luke Maile now the catcher. So Benson, Marte, Maile, Hines. That means Blake Dunn is the only position player left on the Reds bench. Brent Suter faced 2 men to close out the 6th. Gave up the single to McCormick. Got the fly out from Altuve. First plate appearance for Jason Hayward. Lark, this feels like a spring training game.
It sure does.
Broke his bat. By the way, Yordan Alvarez officially finished the game 0 for 3. So his hit streak halted at 10. The on-base streak dies at 26. The latter was the second longest active, trailing only the Mets' Francisco Lindor. And the Mets are the next foe the Reds will see on their upcoming road trip. And at last check, Mets are playing the Red Sox. They lead 4-3. Lindor has been on a couple of times. He has 2 hits and a double tonight. He's been hot. He's hitting .275. Slider, the finisher for Suter.
A good pitch right here. Jason Hayward likes that ball close to him. Started in the middle of the plate. Just run it off.
The veteran Hector Neris is now up in the Astro pen. Espinal. Brief message now from Big Sandy Superstore.
You'll find the best selection of the top brands at the guaranteed lowest price. Big Sandy Superstore in the Kenwood Shopping Center.
John Singleton struck out looking his first time. That is cranked to right. And gone. 13th of the year for Singleton. 12-5.
Yeah, middle right there.
Up and away to Caratini. Each time I'm pausing and making sure the same player's in the game. He's doubled. He has struck out twice. And the pace and changing his speeds. It's a big swing that comes up empty. Understandable time for Caratini. High heat, the finisher. Our Medical Mutual hometown highlight: a furious first inning for the Reds.
Yeah, just everybody contributed. You see the Spencer Steer 0 for 1. That was a line drive he hit to the left field, but boys came out today swinging the bats, doing damage early.
Biggest run scoring first inning for the Reds in 22 years. Both teams have just about emptied their benches. The veteran pitcher Hector Neris is in.
Hector Neris, now 35 years old. Throws a four-seam fastball, a lot of splits, occasional sinker and slider.
First AB tonight for Noelvi Marte. Hard foul, strike one. Marte was on deck to hit for De La Cruz last inning. Did not have a chance to stand in, but took the field with the many defensive changes. Looks like Will Benson is on deck. Early turn foul. So De La Cruz ended his night 3 for 4, 2 doubles, 2 ribs, steal, 3 runs scored. He had been in a little bit of a rut for a couple of weeks. His efforts tonight have him back up to 265. And he gets a rarer steal of late. He had only a couple of steals the last couple of weeks. He's now up to 62 in his quest to have 70 steals. Check swing, no appeal needed. Called at the plate, strike 3. First plate appearance tonight for Will Benson. Reese Hines now on deck. So Tyler Stevenson ends his night with 2 hits, 3 ribbies. Two and two. Sent to center. McCormick makes the play, 2 away. The Singleton homer last inning is a little bit of a big deal. Remember, the margin has to be 8 for a position player to pitch for the trailing team. Only one Astro is needed to do that all year. They have had a fantastic season. Gray Kessinger is the only man to do so, not with them currently. Reese Hines' first plate appearance. He hasn't had a ton of at-bats on this latest go-around of the big leagues. Do you see anything?
I see exactly that. You know, the fact that he just haven't had the reps, and that's tough for a young player that in the minor leagues is playing every day, and then comes up here and just doesn't get the opportunity. So we'll have to see if he gets any reps, if they increase as the year continues. But what a week he had his first time up. My goodness.
A truly historic run of power and contact. In that first week of the big leagues, was named Player of the Week for the National League. First Red to ever do that. Matt McLean was pretty close. He had only been in the league for, I think, a week when he won his. Hines down on strikes. Nation Kitchen and Bar on the Banks, home base for the official game day party for every Reds game. Swing in with your friends and family for beer, burgers, and baseball. All nations welcome.
Saw Jake Fraley over there interacting in between innings with the fans down the right field line. I believe what happened was, we mentioned earlier in the game, his last at bat, he whistled a line drive and it appeared to strike someone in the head, and I believe he was over there talking. There it is. I think that's the person that was struck by that foul ball.
And she seems to be in great spirits. She walked up the steps with an usher after this contact. Oh, yeah. Gosh.
Yeah, that. Thank goodness. Looks like she's okay. But that is scary, scary, scary stuff.
Got him looking. Yep, got me right here. You can see the mark where it was. And, thank goodness she's got that big smile and appears to be all right. Sent to center. Hines. Gamble flies out. DeZenzo, 2-run single his last time. He's 1 for 3. Changeup strikes him out. Bookend case for Suter, who has retired 4 straight.
Congratulations to the Dayton Dragons on Monday. With this victory, they secured a playoff berth first for Dayton since 2017. They will now take on Lake County beginning on September 10th. Best of 3 series against Lake County. Now, is winning as a team at the minor league level as important as the major league level? Of course not. Is it something you would like to develop and develop that culture in the minor leagues as a team? Most certainly, particularly when you got a roster filled with guys that you believe are future major leaguers. And that is the case in Dayton.
Well, thank you, Jim. And Daytona, by the way, magic number of 3 entering the day at low A as well.
I think Jimmy hit right on it. That culture of winning, and I think that's important. I know that's one of the conversations that is had about progressing guys throughout the minor league system. Do you move them up because they're deserving to play at a higher level, or do you let them stay there if they have an opportunity to win? And I think they've pretty much kept the teams intact so that they can go through the process and learn how to win.
And congrats also, of course, to Vince Harrison, skippering the High A club to that playoff berth. Sent to center by Steer. Shift to the hips. Wickham has the play. One away. Stream every out-of-market game live or on demand. Blackout other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.tv for details. First plate appearance tonight for Luke Maile. Two and two. Appeal, he did not go. Daytona, by the way, fell today 8-6, but Jupiter, the club chasing them, also lost, so that magic number down to 2. Maile goes down looking. After the game, Reds Live, the post-game program, BG and Chris. Beyond to recap this one that had a super start. See Freddie Benavides smiling alongside Jonathan India. His homer ignited everything. Tune in to Reds Live from your local Toyota dealers. Jake Fraley has doubled, walked, stolen a bag, and scored. I was a little curious when the Reds made their massive insertions of defenders. Jake Fraley and Will Benson are working the corners in the outfield. Reese Hines is playing center field for the first time professionally. Never did it in the minors. Lifted left. Ohio has been brought to you by Jake Sweeney Chevrolet, serving the tri-state for over 100 years. And by State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Throughout the season, enjoy family discount days provided by Klosterman Bakery. Families can save on tickets in select areas of the park in advance of game day. Details, reds.com/family. First pitch swung on and skipped beyond short. Base hit Chaz McCormick. That ball was scooped by the challenging Reese Hines, who of course was drafted as a third baseman, began his pro career somewhat briefly at third base, but has overwhelmingly been a corner outfielder in the minors and the majors. His first time in center has happened tonight. Shea Whitcomb. He has fly to center. Up and in. Well, not only do the Reds have a 7-run lead, but they have forced Houston to use 5 different relievers to sop up all but 2 outs tonight. Well, Brent Suter is the only Reds reliever to have appeared in the game. Well, not only could Suter get a save in a situation like this, but it's essentially another off day for the rest of the bullpen. That's a huge deal. I mean, it's big at almost any time of year, but heightened significantly with where the Reds are right now. Jason Hayward struck out his first plate appearance in the 7th. Yeah, the Reds still have to play one more game against this good Houston club, best in the AL West. Then we'll have to take on a Mets club that's seemingly in a 2-team race for the last wild card spot. Half game back of the Braves. They've been going back and forth. Cubs certainly have a shot. They've been playing hot of late, but they're 4.5 out. Imanaga has been lifted after 7. He left with the no-hitter. It's 11-0. No-hitter is still in progress. Breaking ball, great one. Strike 3.
A nice breaking ball, front door variety this time. Many times you see a breaking ball, you see it away from you. Like that fooled Jason Hayward on that front door breaking ball. Good pitch.
And now the last position player on the bench put in. It's catcher Cesar Salazar. Hits to the DH and Diaz. In truth, in total, the Astros offense a good night. 5 runs, 9 hits. The Reds offense 12 runs, 14 hits. And only 2 of the runs against Reds pitching earned. In the dirt, gets away from Maile. Hold at first by McCormick. Suter entered the day with 1 lifetime save. 10th of August 2021. That was as a Brewer in Chicago against the Cubs. Struck him out. The Reds rout Houston. Cincinnati has claimed the series. It's the 2nd career save for Brent Suter. as a big offensive first inning carries the Reds 12-5.
It's really important and was really important for the pitchers to stay focused after having such a large lead, and I think you have to credit Nick Martinez and Brent Suter for both doing that. That was huge for the pitching staff, as thin as we have been, for those guys to be able to carry the load for this game. And the offense, Jonathan India getting it started. Just about everyone in the lineup had really good competitive at-bats. And dare we say it, John, we're on a little bit of a roll here in Cincinnati.
Now the Reds have won 3 straight. They have secured the set. They have also now won 8 in a row against Houston. Could they make it another sweep? Join us tomorrow, Reds Live. The pregame show from Ray St. Clair Roofing hits the air at 12:30. Rookie Rhett Lauder makes his second start. He'll be opposed by Hunter Brown. Good vibes here tonight. Word with a hero. The full post game on the other side. Reds Live is next.